Hi guys, Carol here from Desert Wreath Creations. I hope you enjoy the video. So let's get started. So first off, you're going to need a 14-inch Dollar Tree frame. And we're going to go ahead and cut our tag off. Then you're going to need 9 yellow pipe cleaners and 10 of the natural pipe cleaners. We're going to take all but one and we're going to set the one aside, and that's going to be used for our bow. So let's start doing our frame. So we're going to take the pipe cleaners, we're going to go between row 1 and row 2 and in between 2 brackets. We're going to take the pipe cleaners, we're going to double it, we're going to pull it real taut, and we're going to twist it about 3 good times. Then we're going to take a tan one and we're going to go in between this bracket here and in between the pipe cleaner we put in the center of the bracket. We're going to pull it taut again and we're going to twist it. We're going to go on the other side of it just like so, in between the yellow pipe cleaner and the bracket. Let's get our pipe cleaner a little more even. We're going to pull it taut and we're going to twist it. These should not be moving around. If they do, that's okay. So next what we're going to do is we're going to go over here with another tan one, and this time we're going to put a tan one in the center of this bracket. Like so, pull it taut. Then we're going to go to use a yellow one. So what I do is, doesn't matter what color of the burlap that I use, I try to coordinate my pipe cleaners. We're going to go with a yellow one to match the burlap. This way, when you're making your ruffle to go around it, you don't see like a black one inside a yellow one, even though that may look cute if you didn't want to put any embellishments in it. So what we do is, since we've got 2 here, you'll have a yellow, 2 tan ones, a tan one, 2 yellow ones, and then it just starts again till you go around all of the brackets on your frame. What this also helps to do is to know what color of burlap you're going to use as you go around your frame. Okay, so what I like to do when I start on mine is I like to start on the outside, or what I do is I go from bracket to bracket to bracket. So I'm just going to fold them down, fold these in the center, just makes it a little easier. Okay, so now we're going to set this aside and we're going to bring out our burlap. This is 5.5 inches wide, and it comes in a 30-foot row, which is 10 yards. The yellow or red or blue or green, whatever color you choose, most of the time it comes in 15-foot rolls. This is 5.5, the same as the neutral, and I got these here from Walmart. I'm going to cut this off, the tag, put it to the side. What I like to do is I like to cut them at the same time. I have a self-healing mat, so what I do is I lay them on top of each other, and on my mat I measure out 20 inches. Okay, so I cut these 20 inches long, each one of them. So you can either take your scissors, take a ruler, yardstick, a seamstress tape, and you can cut them with your scissors if you like. I use a rotary cutter. Any rotary cutter will do. And then I set it on my 20 and I go right through them. And then I set them to the side. I continue to do this until I have 9 pieces of each one. Now that we have all of our pieces cut, what I've done is I've stacked them into 2 piles. I put my natural in one and my yellow in the other, and I set them to the side. Now we're going to bring back over our 14-inch wreath frame. So I like to start in the middle. So let's start here with the yellow one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a yellow one, and I'm going to take my thumbs and I'm just going to pull it back and ruffle it up. My thumbs is just holding it in place, and I'm just going to pull it together like so. And I've got like a little flower clamshell. So now I'm going to put it in the middle. Take my pipe cleaners. And this is where you need to pull real tight with them. And I go ahead and I twist them about 3 or 4 good times. And we're just going to go ahead at this point and cut them off. You could wait till the very end, but I like to cut them off as I go. I keep a little bucket so I can just put my stuff in it. And now you have like a little flower. Then I go ahead and drop down to the bottom, and I do the same thing with the tan ones. I hold it, I take my fingers, and I just bring in the burlap to me. I find the center, open my tie, place it down right in the center, and tie it down really good and tie it again. I clip that off. I take the deal and I push it to the back. At this point, I'm not going to be ruffling anything out. What I'm doing is I'm just tightening down my putting all of my burlap in. I didn't get that one tight enough. So let's go ahead and do another tan one. Thumbs here like a dam, then bring the burlap to you. It looks like an accordion when you're through with it. Find your center, go into the middle, and tie it down. our last one. These are fast and easy wreaths to make. Perfect for a craft fair, perfect as a family project, perfect for gifts of any holiday. Okay, now that we've got all of our burlap put on, now is the time that we're going to go and sort of rearrange it some. The reason I didn't do it before and then come back and doing it is because the edges where we cut the burlap frays, even though I really like that look, I don't want it to completely continue to fray into fray. So what I do is I start somewhere on it, and what I do is I just pull the petal up, or the ruffle up, like so, and I just sort of swirl it around a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect, I just want it to stand up just a little bit more. Then I go to the ones under it, sort of wrap them around each other, and sort of butt the bottom ones up to the top. I just put them in my hand, like if I was holding a flower bud or a flower I just picked, and I just sort of move it around a little bit, butting it up, pulling them together. What it does is it helps them mingle in between each other somewhat. And I just go around pulling them up. Like so. Okay, there we go. Now it's time for us to make a bow. Okay, what I use is I use the Pro Bow 4-in-1, and it's no different than using an easy bow or a bow dabra. It's not to actually make a bow, it's basically to hold your bow while you make it. So let's get started. First of all, I've chosen two colors of ribbon. I've chosen a sunflower ribbon on a khaki background, and I've also chosen just a plain khaki colored. Both of these ribbons are 1.5 inches wide. I'm going to start out with the khaki. I'm going to measure, see if I can scoot this up for you. I'm going to measure our tails, which is the part of the bow that hangs down. We want it to hang down a little bit to give it some texture. It's not going to quite be a really large bow because the wreath isn't large itself. So let's do about a 14-inch tail. If this is too long, we can trim it off. So what I've done is I've gathered it up. I'm going to twist it and I'm going to place it down in my holder here in between the two pegs. Okay. Then I'm going to, I like to pull out quite a bit of ribbon. Then I'm going to take it, I'm going to slide it down in, and I'm going to come out here to about the 5-inch mark. And then I'm going to twist it, come back over here to the 5. I'm going to twist it. Okay, going to go ahead and position my loops. I'm going to go ahead and make another loop the same way out to the 5. I'm going to twist it. I'm going to go ahead and position this one. I'm going to come out here again to the 5. I'm going to twist it. I'm making 3 loops on each side. This loop is going to go right in the middle. Twist it. Another 5. This time we're just going to scrunch it down in there. Okay. If you'll notice, I try to keep all of my loops still fluffed up and keep them in place. That just helps when you're finished with the bow. I'm going to bring this on around, move that ribbon, and sort of try to make my tails about the same. If they're different sizes, it doesn't matter. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut it. Now that we're through with this one, we'll start on the sunflower. I use safety pin, not a safety pin, a straight pin to hold my ribbon into place. Seems to work the best for me. Okay. So now I'm going to take the sunflower ribbon . I'm going to pull it out. Since that one was about a 14, I'm going to go about a 12.5 tail. Okay. Pull it out front also. This time we're going to go just a little bit shorter. I'm going to take it down approximately an inch. So I'm going to make like a 4-inch loop. One there. You have to move your loops out of the way. Going to make one here. Going to twist it. I twist towards me. Make another one. Same size. Same way on this side. And I'm also going to make 3 loops. This is our last one. So I'm just going to scrunch it down and pull it out to the front. Okay. Let me get this ribbon put up. So now let's sort of manage our loops here. Get them where we want them. This just helps with the process. Okay. So now that I have those, and I've got shorter ones, I just like to go the same directions. I'm going to leave that like that. I just pull one out front. I pull one to the back, and I leave one in the center. Making sure I've got all of my tails out front the best I can. I always keep my fingers here in the center. This just keeps from, when you pull on your loops and all, it just keeps them from you stretching it out to the wrong size. Now I'm going to take the other tan pot cleaner. I like to bend it in the middle. Then what I do is I go ahead and pick my stack up, or your loops, okay? While I'm holding it, I go right down the center of it, come back to the back, and I hold it real tight, and then I twist the bow, not the pot cleaner, about 5 good times. And what that does is creates your bow to start going ahead and standing up. Okay, so I'm going to set that down. Let's get our bow maker out of our way. And now we're just going to do a little fluffing to our bow. I like to go ahead and take my fingers, like so, and pull them, my tails out front. Okay, that gives them a good curl. Do the same ones with the other. Then I take my loops and I sort of twist them a little bit. It just sort of helps break that center of the bow where it can pucker. Okay, I do the ones on the back and work towards the top. Okay, so now we're going to bring our wreath back over, and what I'm going to do is I like to hold mine up and look to see if I see a bare spot that maybe it was just a little uneven or something that can't be quite pulled together or ruffled up to be hidden, and that's where I like to place my bow. So I think right here is a good spot. So I take my bow, I place it in, and I run it down the center on each side of the frame. I pull it through to the back, making sure you've got all of your together. Get it where you want it. And then I tie it to the frame. I don't pull it, I pull it snug, but not super snug into that frame. It causes your bow to sink in and it won't be nice and fluffy. Then I take my bow again, and I pull my tails, sort of move them around the way you want them. Like so. Take your loops, put them where you want them. While fluffing them out. And there you have your bow for your wreath. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dovetail my ends. What dovetailing means is you fold your ribbon in the half, and the edge that you folded, you're going to cut towards the wired edge. I use wired ribbon in all of my wreaths. Now take those fingers and fluff out those. Now isn't that pretty? Now you could stop here and have a gorgeous wreath, or you could go on and add some embellishments, and I'll show you how that's done. So what I have here is I have just some small sunflower, daisy type flowers that I thought looked really well with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place them sporadically throughout our wreath. And to do that, I don't want to use the leaves. The leaves are too big and they're overbearing. That's my thought. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these flowers off. I'm going to leave some a little long. I thought we might put a couple in the bow. Take the tag off. I'm always pulling them off. There we go. We can cut them down some more if we need to. I don't know how many we'll end up using, but I think we've got plenty. Okay, I'm going to set this to the side. So we have 17. This is where our glue gun's going to come in handy. Burlap holds glue really well. Okay? So, let's take this one. Let's cut it off just a little bit. I like to leave just a little end on it. Get your glue gun. And what I thought would be nice, and just give it a little pop of color, just put you a generous amount, but not overly done. I thought if we came in here, and what I do is I poke the stem down into the burlap and sort of highlight these burlap pieces. I thought that would be really pretty. So I'm going to continue around. Like I said, I push that stem way down in that burlap. Okay, I think that's looking awesome. If you have other flowers or anything like that that you prefer, it's a good way to experiment. Different flowers, different colors. You could even add a little sign to it. Let's get us one up under there. Okay. I think we need a couple over here just to make it cohesive. There we go. Sometimes you just have to push a little harder. Our last one, then we'll add a little bit to the bow. If you wanted to go ahead and place some in all of them, you most certainly could. So let's sort of straighten our bow back up where I put my arm on it. I think we just might do one to the center. I think that would look nice. That one's perfect. Just spread out your loops. What a darling little wreath.